All right, I'm Matthew Orr, back again for another game jam. I've got Jessiye Davis from Tabletop Gamers here with me, and we found a spot that's hopefully we won't be too disturbed out here because it's loud in the hall. Hey, Jessiye.
Hey.
Why don't you start your timer?
We're starting our timer already. All right.
Yeah,
all right.
Just start it. We're jumping right in.
Jumping right in. All right, timer 15, you said,
Yeah,
right?
15.
All right, timer is going. All right.
All right, now that the timer's going, we can talk about the game. What do you want to make? We got some stuff here. You brought some stuff.
Let's.
What kind of you like?
I think we'll do. Let's do a little something. Let's pull. I say we pull a tarot.
Okay.
And
I like tarot.
We pull a 3-draw tarot, and then we roll a dice to see how we're going to interpret the card. I think. Okay,
like they'd make like a table, almost like a table.
Yeah, it's like you.
Like the rolling the die is like, okay, so this is going to be, we got past, present, future.
Yeah.
Mysterious stranger, a set of things like that, and then so you randomize even what you're drawing.
Yeah. So, because usually when you draw the cards, you put some intention in there, but this is kind of like a, I don't know what this is. You could roll first to see, and then put your,
And then...
What, should we do a 20?
We'd have to think of 20 things real quick.
Okay, let's do a 6, because then you can just make that a D3.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can make that a D3. And then we could just, all right.
So you get out the D6, and then so then we can do that, and then it's like, what do we do something else with that then, or we just kind of, you want to do it and see what comes up?
We see what the draws are.
Okay.
And then we go from there.
All right.
So we'll do a quick shuffle of that.
So your D3 is going to be what, past, present, future, or?
Yeah, because actually, I'm thinking, okay, so you roll the D3, and then you pull the card, actually, and the card, you've got the D6, or D3, and so you pull the card, and then you roll it, you're like, our roll tool, so if we had that first card out, okay, that's going to be the pass, maybe. If you do like 1, 2, 3, or whichever way you want to do it.
Yeah.
And then 1 would be past, 2 would be present, and 3 would be future.
Okay.
So
we start with reverse hermit.
Reverse hermit, okay.
So you roll a die and see if that's related to. So that's related to the future.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then.
We do another one.
Yeah.
So this we got Ace of Potions.
Ace of Potions, okay. And that is. Now that would also be future. That's interesting because that would. Okay. Oh no, the first one was a 3.
First one was a 3, so that's present.
Oh, that's present. Yeah, that's present.
So that's present.
So
we
this
got
is
present and future.
Okay. And then
one more. Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, Wheel of Fortune. So that would make it out. That always does it itself, but I'm curious what this is going to tell us. That's
also the present. So we have a future and 2 presents.
Mm-hmm.
And we did them, I don't know. That was the present, and that's the future, and that's also the present. But it came second. All right, so that's our order. Okay, so we've got our order.
Mm-hmm.
What do we
do from here?
What do we do from here? What's our
Now, we could. Okay, we're doing good.
You check the time.
We could, because this is like if you're using it for a game to like maybe find the course of a character.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to say, this could even be a way to figure out your character's backstory.
Like a backstory generator type thing.
Yeah, or what you're going to do instead of like rolling a dice to determine it, there's a little more aspect to it for your future. Like, because then if you use the interpretations of the tarot cards, like Wheel of Fortune, and it's like, oh, okay, so that's a different way to help craft the story if you're going to do that like an art TTRPG kind of a thing, or if you're going to do something a little different.
So I recently heard an actual play where somebody had they had like I don't know what it was called. It wasn't present. It was they got to roll the dice at the beginning of the session, and then they had precognitioned the events of the day. So they pre-rolled the die, and then they were like, anytime they wanted, they could insert that die into like, okay, you didn't actually roll an 18, you rolled this 3 because I saw it in the future, right?
Yeah.
So what if the tarot then becomes sort of like the same thing, where it's like, this is your set of skill rolls for the evening, and you have to choose when
Yeah.
when you're like, well, like I don't know.
And then
That's sort of different than what we started with.
And
but
then
like,
if you, no, it can evolve. We're trying to figure out what we're doing.
Yeah.
Because then if you have a regular tarot deck that you've got that many cards in there to craft and change how your character does things, or sorry, you build your character in however way. Hey. And so, like, I'm trying to remember. Ace of Potions is Ace of Cups, I think.
Yeah, it'd be cups.
And I'm trying to remember. My brain is not doing it, but like, and then of course like Reverse Hermit, which is interesting for present because like, what if your character was like, maybe this is how they meet their other adventuring party people. They're going out doing stuff. Or they're like having, hey, maybe they, I think it would be a cool way to craft this story in its own like improv that you don't know about as you're like, because a lot of role playing is improv, right? So so it's like, it allows you to not have to come up with the option, but play off of the option.
Okay. So we're building sort of like some sort of like optional rule kit, or that you would put onto any role playing situation.
Yeah,
or
I
would
think
it
could be a
thing?
system agnostic if you want to, but it could become its own thing.
Yeah.
Because if you're using it to help character choices or story choices, that could be system agnostic probably.
Okay.
Because you just shuffle your deck, you find the things, you're like, oh, it's almost like a rolling table.
Yeah. Okay. I like
with
that.
With a little different twist on it.
Right. So in this case. So
let's say
if this is.
Let's say I was a dwarf that hasn't left the mines before. I'm a Undercity dwarf, and now I'm coming up to top for the first time for who knows what. Maybe maybe there was some kind of thing, and then so like you've got these, and those help you as you tell your story and make your choices, and it can even be a one draw per thing.
Maybe it's like a maybe we have like if this is like sort of the you spread out the beginning, and like this is the way that it's going to come out, and so like, or these are your options for the thing, but like maybe like that substitution of the die idea. It's like this is the role that I'm going to substitute for the hermit for this event. And this is the one where it's like, great, I instead of rolling for initiative, I submit that the Wheel of Fortune means that like I'm going to insert myself when I choose into the initiative. Yeah. And so that like every one of the cards gets interpreted over the course of your session. Yeah. But like it is. Yeah,
you do your draw at the beginning of your session, probably for everything. Especially if you're going to have a campaign of whatever this is. You draw at the beginning of your session, so you know that's how you're going to insert. You have those three options to insert in certain parts. Yeah. Instead of your regular roll or your regular whatever.
Right. Yeah.
I think that could be fun, actually.
That could be fun. And so, like, obviously, we got 2 from the Arcana, which don't really. Yeah. I mean, they do have numbers, but they're not. They're not the numbered suits, right?
Right.
So then, if you had a number, you could maybe, because they go up to. I mean, I guess with the.
If you count the king, it's
up to like 15. If you do that, so like. You'd never get that, like, if we're playing a D20 game, game where you might have a dwarf in, that you'd never get the like critical success, but you could still like, I'm going to substitute the 15 for this roll. Like that's a pretty solid like. Yeah. Like,
or
you
if you're playing a system where it's kind of reversed, like the D20 system where the 1 is great and the 20 is not. Right. Then you can. So that's how it can also be system agnostic, is because it just and different.
I was looking for like there's a queen, so that's 14 or whatever. So if you had the queen out, you'd be like,
that could be that.
I think
roll.
that I'm gonna put in the 14.
Trump stuff, or even if it's an initiative kind of situation, in a combat situation, you can look at it as, hey, this is it gives you something in combat some kind of way, especially if you look at the different interpretations of it. Or if you were going to do something and you pull it and it's reversed, the GM can kind of twist that.
So like with this one, in our initial draw here, like the one that's reversed is like, I mean, like you said, the dwarf coming out into the mine, that's almost like the backstory thing. Yeah. I mean, you could build
There's
up.
so many different things I think that this little idea could possibly move into, and it would always have to be refined and stuff, but
you could do like a backstory. It could be both of the things that we've been talking about. Like you could be the backstory thing, like generate your backstory real quick. Like the the hermit coming out of the mines for the first time, going on a first adventure, but it's reversed. So then it's sort of like there's a sour or a bad note, or like it's sort of like maybe that means that you were cast out of your community, or you had to flee for some reason, or you had enemies or whatever. So like there you've got your whole backstory. I mean, and all the tarot cards could work that way, where they're leaning into the backstory.
Even at a convention, though, I think it could work too, because if you have a quick thing where like this is how you build it real quick, you don't have to think about those options, but you're still building your character yourself. But it's giving you more things, and then it's a quick thing. And then if you're doing something in like a quick 60-minute thing or a 2-hour thing where you just want to quick one-shot kind of thing would work well with. You could just have like a second, like this is how you build your character, and then these are how the choices go as you. And it would be a cool way to make a nice, cool narrative. Yeah,
you could almost do it like a 2-stage thing where like, okay, so here's your initial 3 cards.
Right.
Pick one of them and tell us who your character is.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like you don't have like stat blocks necessarily or skills or anything. You're just like, oh, I'm this person who's been cast out of my home, and so I'm out on the surface for the first time, so I'm inexperienced, and like, you know, like you can almost think of like all of the skills and abilities that person would have just from that one card.
Yeah, like what do they do, and then move it forward.
You've chosen that one, so then the other ones, and then you get like a new set of cards, and then those are your skill rolls or whatever for the evening, and so
that's another way to do it.
You're like, any time that the GM is like, what do you do next, and then you're like, somebody at the table can be like, well, I'm going to pull out this, you know, I'm submitting that the Ace of Potions is here, and then like I mean, first thing I thought of was you needed a tavern because we're in kind of that mode. But like, you know, what else could Ace of Potions be? It's like,
and even if it's like, because this is a cyberpunk deck, so it's even like a potion is maybe an augmented thing for that. Depends on what kind of environment you want
or something like that. As the Ace of Potions being like, my buddy got poisoned, but I've got the Ace of Potions. So that's the antidote. So I got the cure for their like virus or whatever that they downloaded.
And then like other things you pull like could be even. So especially since the tarot deck has so many different things, and there could be even like a romance thing in there, or who knows, like. Or our family, like a 10 of Cups is like the family. So if you draw that, and then that could fall in later on and fall into your background, like, oh, maybe there's some, you know, like a family tie, or if it's reversed, you know. So I think that would be.
I think you there's be like, I guess the idea that like you have a limited number of them. You're not just always pulling from the deck. You'll never get more than the 6 cards that you got at the beginning, and like we're maybe going to try to hit everybody's
different.
Everybody's going to try to spend their cards, and that's the scenes that we're doing.
It would be interesting too if there's a element, like if you have some kind of tie or bind with another player, that you are able to trade your card. And since like, because you create a bind as you tell the story, and then you're able to give them a boon.
I really like that. Like if you're spending like either you're pushing a card to the middle of the table, or just directly, like you said, giving it to another player. But there is sort of like I'm offering up this story beat. Who wants to pick it up with me? And like, what does that mean at the table?
A consequence is that you lose one, and it goes to the middle, or it is no longer an option, kind of a thing.
So like
to help. Like maybe you roll a 1 or you roll a 20, whatever, and that is you lose. You turn your cards over, you shuffle them, and you don't know what you lose until it's pulled out.
You lose something, and then that's like that.
And that is an option for either someone to pick up from the middle, or the GM gets to have it as part of their, if it's a GM game, that they get to use that card now as part of the way they craft it.
I really like the idea of like resources passing back and forth between the GM screen, you know, and then stuff is going to come back. I mean, there's a lot of good things here that I think I'm excited about all the stuff. Okay, so would we want to? We talked about. I think we're about at the end of our time.
Yes.
And so we can try to. I just sort of think it's like review. Okay, so we got like. So it's like I like the idea of like the choices get smaller as the game goes on. So like almost like we've used everybody picked. We started with six. We picked
build your character.
That's one, and then you're gonna have played the game, so you've done something. Maybe a critical failure has caused you to lose one.
Yeah.
So like you get down to the end of the game.
Maybe you've given one to someone that you made a bond with. Yeah.
And then maybe you get down to the end, and it's like there's only so many ways that the story you're telling can now turn out because everybody's spent all their cards, and like
and everybody should have like that one card at the end that you conclude. That one card is the choices of how the characters separate, stay together, finish it out.
Yeah.
But if you've lost a card, the GM gets to tell that part of your story.
Ooh. All right. I like that.
It sounds like it's done.
Hey, that's the alarm. All right. Well, so I think we made a little like role-playing system here that has that's a bolt-on to other things. It sounds great. An alternate way to handle dice and storytelling and backstory and like especially like we're gonna do 60 minutes of this improvised storytelling and that's it. And so I like it, but like, what do you like about what we've developed here? What as a game person, what's exciting?
I love a narrative thing. Like combat's great. You have that parts and roles and stuff, but I think finding new ways to play the games that we love is fantastic, and finding ways to build community and make connections, because that's what gaming is, right?
Yeah.
It's making connections and reaching out, and not everybody is good at improvising off of regular known different parts of RPGs that we all play,
right?
But when you build something that someone can just have that idea off of and help them make the idea, so they don't have to like, I don't know what my character would do. Hey, here's this card. This is what these mean, or this is what this is reversed, and then help them move into those narrative aspects and help them build that story together. So then it just makes it so much more fun, because some people get intimidated by that. I gotta play the quieter people. This can be a way to.
Right. I think like especially in that like sort of learning to be more of a improv-y role player where like it's like, okay, you've got your character sheet, you know what you normally would do, but like pick a card here to replace one of these sections and it's like trying to lead you into a more collaborative storytelling process.
And then you get a better story, I think. And you tell it together, and even if because there's some people that prefer GM-less games for different reasons, and that could even move into that a way for you guys to just build it together.
All right, so we kind of covered both. The other question is, what should we develop next? We've kind of, I think, already covered that. So I want to ask you, what should we develop this like little rule set for?
I'd be down to do it. I don't know what the want is out there.
Yeah.
But I'd be down to work on something.
Okay, awesome. Well, maybe we will.
Yeah, maybe we will. Maybe we'll see if people are interested. I think, because it could even be a tarot deck. It doesn't even have to be. I mean, tarot is a great way to do it, but there could be other. You could evolve into its own deck thing. You know.
Yeah. All right. I just noticed this in the song. I'm gonna check, make sure that this is still okay. It's still recording.
Okay.
But so the final thing is tell people who you are, what you do with Tabletop Gamers, what Tabletop Gamers is, real quick, and where they can find you if they want to see more of your stuff that you've done.
Yeah, I'm around. I'm Jessiye Davis. I do, on my own, outside of Tabletop Gamers, I do actual plays, I GM, lots of advocacy work. I do a lot of DIA advocacy, make sure people can play games in any way that their abilities or disabilities are out there. And then for Tabletop Gamers, I am on the board. I'm one of the executives on the board, and we are a nonprofit that does visibility and safety at gaming table for people in the queer community, LGBTQIA+. So we have I took my badge off, but we have the ribbons.
Oh, the ally ribbon,
badges,
the
support trans
pronoun
youth,
ribbons.
Yeah, that's us. You've seen us at different conventions, and it's led to, actually, like Gen Con has it on your badge now. So, and a lot of other cons have picked that up for that everybody have that same familiarity, make it, normalize it. But we also do our gaming safe space in retail stores, so that when you have your playing in the store, GMs are held accountable. They're making sure the table's safe and inclusive. And then we have our game night program where we send publishers give us games, and we send them to LGBT centers all over the country. We're actually in Canada now. We're in Puerto Rico as well.
Nice.
So that community centers can have games in their own community by people and GMs that live there. And then we're usually at a lot of the gaming conventions. So we got the ribbons, we got the pens, and it's all about making sure people feel safe and are seen at their table. That's how it started. And it was 10 years old this year.
Nice. Well, congratulations. Wet Ink is also 10 years old, so I guess we started at the same time. Jesse, thank you so much for doing this with me today, this game jam. Thank you for your work with Tabletop Gamers. And if there's, it's just tabletopgamers like .org.
Tabletopgamers.org. I'm sorry, tabletopgamers.org. Is it on here? It's tabletopgamers.org.
It's one of those two. But
we're on all the socials. You'll find us. If you look up, if you just type in gamers with a Y, it's gamers with a Y.
That's right. It's gamers with a Y. Gamers.
It's a great pun. I love it. You'll find us at tabletopgamers.org. You can go there. There's a lot of info about us and what we do, as well as our link for any of our rewards for donating and stuff like that. Our pins and swag. So you can show your visibility other places outside of cons.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah.
And hope you have the rest of your Gen Con is great. Or not, this isn't Gen Con, Gamehole Con.
I did. That was my fault.
Gamehole Con. And we'll see you in the next video.